I knew I was close to you, and I knew catch me fly in the sun, catch me drinking of your wine. I'm gonna put something in you, make the devil feel surprised. All your sisters wanna fly around my golden sky, around my golden sky. And I knew I was close to you, and I knew catch me fly in the sun, catch me drinking of your wine. I'm gonna put something in you, make the devil feel surprised. All your sisters wanna fly around my golden sky, around my golden sky. Welcome to another horrid episode of the apocalypse. So good to see you again. Congratulations, by the way, for choosing the apocalypse. A bold, stout, refreshing choice, but not in a good way. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. You didn't know that, did you? Well, you know now, and knowing's half the battle. So again, since you have so bloody, unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. I am that guide, unfortunately for me. The horror, your humble guide, Nicholas. It appears Donnie's beautiful bill will indeed add to the deficit, to the tune of trillions, despite what Skeletor, Mikey Johnson, and others say. And as of 7 p.m. today, we hadn't seen Donnie in 3 days. That's not normal, but we'll get to that. Yeah, let's start. So the first headline I woke up to was this, New York Times. Trump's policy bill could add $2.4 trillion to debt, analysis shows. So we're getting multiple analyses on how much Donnie's grift is going to cost us. After you watched him grift the first time for 4 years. I keep forgetting that about you people. You've already seen the grift. You said, you know what? I want that again. Again, is a stout choice. A wanking stout choice. An unwise choice, though. So yeah, it's going to add 2.4 trillion according to this analysis. The CBO has scored it. Other places have given their thoughts on it. And it, it's going to cost us anywhere from 3-4 trillion to 5 trillion over what we would have normally spent. That's really bad, especially when you're cutting social programs to do it and giving tax cuts to the rich. Maybe we shouldn't do either of those things and just leave it the way it is, at the bare minimum. But no, typical every GOP administration, first on the agenda is tax cuts for the rich. I've seen this song and dance over and over and over and over and over again. And it's disgusting and it's evil and it's the exact opposite of what every Christian and good person should be advocating for. It's the literal opposite, actually, than the Jesus you preach, son. The rich don't need tax cuts. They rich. It's a real simple thing. And what did Jesus say, the guy you allege to believe in? He said it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man get to heaven. Now, do I believe Jesus is saying every rich man is going to hell? No, I don't believe that. I think Jesus was saying, don't love the money too much, son. Because if you do, it will corrupt you, ruin you, and you will not be redeemed. You will turn into a monster. And how many people, have we seen over the years that come into money and they become a different person, let's be honest. Because me, if I were rich, I'll be honest with you, and I don't want to offend any famous people here, but I wouldn't want to go to the parties. I wouldn't want to rub elbows with Donnie at the golf club or anyone at the golf club. My point is, I wouldn't all of a sudden turn into that other kind of person where things like rubbing elbows at the golf club for favors and shit with other powerful people, that's how you spend your day. Yeah, I want no part of that. I would just want to kick back, enjoy the money. I wouldn't want to try and turn it into an empire or rule the fucking world like these sociopaths we watch every day in the White House. I would just kick back and enjoy the money, but that's probably why I'll never get that kind of money, because I wouldn't use it to hurt other people. And let's be honest, a lot of you get the blessing because you're doing that. And you know it. But a wife and kids and responsibilities are an excuse to step on people, however you do that, so you can make a lot of money. I know how you justify it. So yeah, that's probably why I'll never come into that. And again, I want to be clear here. There are some righteous people that come into money. There are stories of it in the book I allege to believe in. So it's possible. All I know is most people I see that get over a certain financial line, they become a different person. They become them, the people at the parties hobnobbing, greasing palms for fucking political favors and shit. You know what it is. And you just get more and more and more and more and more corrupt. It's a slippery slope. And I understand how it happens. Everyone's susceptible to it with various forms of temptation, even me. I'm not saying I'm above it. I was a young, ambitious man at one point too, and I wanted what the world wanted for me. I don't think that way anymore. Thank God. Even though I suffer a lot for thinking that way. For not thinking, well, my ambition and my interests are all that matters. Whoever I have to step on, whatever lie I got to tell, whatever I got to do, I am justified via the responsibilities I have. That's not the life for me. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so we hadn't seen Donnie in 3 fucking days, which is very strange. I am real suspicious about this. There was no Biden disappears for 3 days. I don't remember anything like that. Again, even on the weekends, we get pictures of these people. We get pictures of Biden in Delaware or at the beach or wherever the fuck he went on the weekends. We get pictures of Dottie spending your money on the golf course every weekend. For some reason, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we didn't see jack shit about this guy. And everybody was just acting like it's fucking normal. And I didn't see a lot of questions being asked about it either. In his little speech tonight, he made sure to throw in, I've been busy with Iran and Russia and this and that. No, you haven't, son. You put like 7 posts up and you had Stephen Miller write a memo. And hardly anything happened. You didn't do jack shit for 2 or 3 days. Something took place. I guarantee it. It's not normal for a Reich and a person that loves the spotlight more than anything. And I mean anything. So Donnie's pretending he did something here. This was early in the day, before 7 p.m. when he finally revealed himself. Quite chipper and energetic, by the way. I wonder what they gacked him up with. Because I guarantee he was missing for 3 days because of some medical thing. I guarantee it. Either dementia flare up, God knows what. Guarantee it. I know all the shit you people said about Biden. No, that's Donnie. That's Donnie. And he disappeared for 3 days for a fucking reason. And this, again, this is a total narcissist that loves the spotlight more than anything. So let's hear what he says about his call with Vlad. I just finished speaking by phone with Vlad of Russia. I'm condensing it a bit. The call lasted approximately 1 hour, 15 minutes. 1 hour and 15 minutes. We discussed the attack on Russia's docked airplanes by Ukraine, and also various other attacks that have been taking place by both sides. It was a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. Then what good was it? Yet again, Donnie achieving jack fucking shit with his master. Not that he really wants to, let's be honest. President Putin did say, and very strongly, that he will have to respond to the recent attack on the airfield. So Putin's about to do something terrible again. We already know this. Donnie achieved nothing. He came back like a dog saying, well, my master's still going to attack Ukraine, and this call meant absolutely nothing, and it won't lead to peace. He literally said this. So again, he disappears for 3 days, and we get this one piece of business allegedly that he allegedly did, which achieved nothing. And Putin said very strongly that he said that. I didn't add that. And very strongly that he's going to respond to that attack. And up here he says, what was that again? But not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. So Donnie accomplished jack fucking shit. Donnie Krasnov, owned by Vlad since 1987. Vlad was a KGB man. Then when Vlad came to power, my God, he totally owned this motherfucker. Still to this day, obvious by this. Again, won't lead to peace, and Putin's gonna do something horrible again. So Donnie is absolutely fucking useless. Grifting left and right. Disappears for 3 days. They don't tell us jack shit, and I guarantee it was medical. Guaranteed. They don't tell us nothing. They pretend like, he's just gone. The president's just gone. No. Never. Not Donnie shitbags. We'd all love for him to be gone. But we won't get that lucky. We're going to have to ride this out. That's why I'm so fucking pissed. I don't want to ride this out. I don't want to deal with your fucking Antichrist. You who have your name on it. Only reason he's there. Pisses me off. And the funny thing is, I'm warning you about what he's going to do to you, son. Been doing it for 10 years. Such a shame. I and others, not like I'm some big time broadcaster or anything. I and so many others, the little audience I had. So I'm not only pissed about what he's going to do to me and other people, I'm pissed about what he's going to do to you too. Because I don't want to live under a dictator. Now it's too late. Because stupid and greed. That's it. Because of stupid and greed. I and others and you will have to suffer this. How many of you have suffered it already? Lost your government job, got laid off because the economy tanked because Donnie's grifting with tariffs? Or the cost of doing business went up too high with Donnie's tariff grift. Now your business is gone or your farm's gone because Leon cut your U.S. aid that pays you to grow food. How many children are dead already because U.S. aid money and meals didn't get to them in third world countries? And they weren't giving you the money anyway, son, so don't worry about it. You don't need to say, spend it here. They wouldn't have spent it on you, son. Don't worry. Never. Never. So again, I'm glad I don't got my name on Donnie Krasnov. I mean, this is just, he might as well have wrote, I'm Putin's bitch. And I just bent over. And I achieved nothing and I've been hiding for 3 days. Because that's all that took place. This is absolutely fucking worthless. Leader of the world, right? That's what he says. Leader of the most powerful nation in the world. Supposed to be a tough guy. He don't look too tough with Vlad. He never did, son. You notice that? I did. He plays the tough guy with everyone else, though. You notice that? I did. That's why he's Donnie Krasnov. Trump trade war has U.S. automakers looking to move manufacturing to China per Wall Street Journal. So I've already read about several car companies that were leaving. I heard Mazda was leaving. I read a headline to you people about that and a few others. And now others are straight up outright talking about it. Honestly, how can any business do business in an unstable environment like Russia? Remember, oligarchs, I begged you, don't turn your country into Russia. Unstable, chaotic, and they'll come for your money. And that's what they did. How many of you have paid tribute to the tune of multi-millions? You'll pay more, don't worry, I told you in advance. They'll never stop knocking on your door, coming for tribute, obeisance, whatever, in the form of money. So I'm surprised I'm defending the business community, which any one of them would fuck me over and has fucked me over in a million different ways. And their ability to do business here, but, that affects all of us. No businesses, no jobs, no future for our country. It's all we got, unfortunately. And they're going to leave. Because this is an unstable grift environment, just like Russia. Remember Vlad in 2022? Took $100 million from Google, just took it. Said, I'm going to use it for the propaganda effort that I paid you for, Google, for 2 decades. Now I'm going to take my money back. That's what happened. Google had to shut down their operations there. So that's what an unstable, chaotic environment can end up as, where they just straight up go to your bank account and take your fucking money. That's why I begged you not to do it. And it can lead to this, where businesses say, fuck it, we can't even do business in America. What is this? As Donnie with the tariff grift every 3 fucking seconds. I can't do business like this. I can't pay 145% tariffs or 30% tariffs. I can't raise prices to that degree. My customers will leave me. I can't believe I'm defending these people, but I am. So we get a headline. Now more automakers are going to leave. I thought the Reich said they're all coming back because of Donnie's tariff grift. Nope. Guess they were lying again. Oh, this is about Leon. Leon, is appearing to be the hero, anti-MAGA bill person now. It's all because of Leon didn't get what he wanted personally in the bill. It has nothing to do with his concern for America, our budget, or you. Because if Donnie offered him a $1 trillion contract tomorrow, he'd take that and put it right in his pocket, son, without hesitation. He just didn't get a few details in the bill that he needs personally for his businesses. Leon thought, class, that he had a leash on the beast. Vlad thinks he does too. It won't be forever, but it's good right now. But Leon's already been thrown under the bus. Again, this is the beast. I told you, no one can leash him. Bibi, he won't even talk to right now. Remember how close they were? For decades. Bibi thought he had him on a leash too. Nope. No one can leash the beast. I've been saying that for years. I said it during his first term. Everyone thinks they can keep a leash on that motherfucker. Nope. The only leash I see holding so far is Vlad's. Eventually, Donnie gonna snap that though. I assume he turns on everyone. I've watched him do that for 10 years. Turn on every single person. It don't matter how close they are. Look at him and Leon right now. They preach in the opposite gospel. Donnie loves the bill. Donnie's threatening people, writing tweets about them, saying, pass it, pass it. Leon's out there saying, don't pass it. It's an abomination. Look at Bibi putting proclamations out that no matter what you do, Donald, I'm still going to go through with my Iran plans and my Gaza plans. They're going to butt heads. They already kind of have. They don't even talk right now. They won't even send the couch fucker to go see Bibi. Do you hear me? They canceled his trip. So Donnie's mad, and the only leash that appears to be holding so far is the Russian one. All the other ones have snapped. But Leon, again, class, Leon thought he had a leash on the beast. No one, even though Leon's a false prophet, no one has a leash on the beast. I'm sorry. That's why he's the beast. So this person is commenting. A Republican aide talking about Leon opposing the reconciliation bill. The guy that was pro the package until he realized he wasn't going to get his way with the EV tax credit. So Leon did not get his electric vehicle tax credits. So he's pissed. He didn't get other things he was looking for. He is getting a huge tax cut, though. That's not good enough for Leon's scum. Don't worry, Leon. You'll get more welfare from the government to keep Tesla afloat and SpaceX. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll make it happen. On our dime, of course. As always. So Leon isn't out there out of the goodness of his heart, out of concern for our nation or its budget or us. That's why I hate the bill. I'm concerned for you and me. I'm not on Medicaid, but people on Medicaid, I don't want to see you lose your fucking Medicaid. I don't want to see you lose your fucking health care. Leon does. Donnie does. Mike Johnson does. But Leon didn't get his EV tax credits, so he's advocating for you right now to kill the bill. I'm sure if Donnie adds the tax credits in there tomorrow, though, Leon will change his tune. And he'll be back on stage with the handshake with the cringe Grima worm tongue face. Like, yes, master. God, that was cringe as fuck. His existence is cringe. Every atom of his being, Leon scum. Do you remember that picture? You should Google it. Look at it again. It's the most ridiculous piece of, I don't know what kind of theater I've ever seen. The richest man in the world, like kind of in some like humbled lesser dog in the pack, shaking the hand with some fucked up gack face of the Antichrist on a stage in front of us. to show the world that, yeah, I'm on Team MAGA now. They do these things, like dancing on stage with a chainsaw, like throwing up a Nazi salute on Inauguration Day. So Leon's, again, only looking out for himself. He's just like Donnie. They're so like each other. They both crave attention so much. They're both utter narcissists. They're both racists. One of them, at least, is a Nazi. I don't hear Donnie condemning the Nazi salute, so I'm going to assume he's one too. I mean, he did have a copy of Hitler's speeches next to his bed, according to him. So again, Leon isn't the hero here. He's just out for himself, just like Donnie is. Again, that's why you can't put a leash on the beast. Constant grift. And if you're a grifter, you only care about yourself, what you get out of the grift, not what anyone else gets. So you'll throw Bibi Netanyahu under the bus, even though you need him. You'll throw Leon Scum under the bus, even though you need him. You might throw Vlad under the bus at some point, even though you need him. That's how far Donnie is willing to go for the grift, for the Nobel Peace Prize, for anything like that. Allegiances mean nothing in those cases. Again, the only leash I see holding is the Russian one, not the Leon one. You can't control an out-of-control beast on the grift. He breathes it, son. Every proclamation is some angle to a grift that benefits him financially or makes his rubes cheer in the street that he's doing evil to ethnic minorities and shit. Everything. Nothing is good. Have you ever seen anything like this, son? It's constant evil. It's constant grift. It's constant crookedness. I don't even know how someone could put that much energy into being crooked. Every fiber of their being. That's Donnie Shitbag, son. You know this. You witness it. Be ye rube, bot, troll. You know this. Donnie breathes the grift. I couldn't even force myself to be like that. It's so damn crooked. Again, he comes back with a $400 million sky mansion built for a fucking sultan. And he's just like, yeah, I'm keeping it. What's wrong? It's astounding. The level of crooked we are speaking of. Where was I here? We haven't seen POTUS since Sunday. This morning we got a press release from the administration that references 7 tweets from Stephen Miller, who is running the show. That's what I was thinking. So again, this was earlier today. This is before Donnie revealed himself all gacked up on speed or whatever they gave him. Because he sure had a lot of energy. After 3 days gone. So the memo, the Stephen Miller thing, it's bullet points. I'll read some of them to you. And, you know, when I saw it, I'm like, damn, what, Stephen Miller running the government now? That's what we're doing. Donnie just disappears for 3 days, dementia, flare up, whatever the fuck it was. They didn't want us to see, obviously. And then he strolls out like nothing happened. Oh, no, son, that one ain't getting by me. You don't just disappear for 3 days as president of the United States and play it off like it was no big deal. I'm sorry, I'm not letting the right get away with that. I'm not going to get distracted with the bullshit either. He disappeared for 3 fucking days and shows up at a soiree, a summer soiree, gives a speech a mile away from the fucking cameras. There's another piece of footage of him walking from the whatever office out to the deck of the White House. But it's taken from the back, from a distance, And you never see his face or the front of him. You just see the back of him walking out to the deck. They're hiding motherfucking something. And it's obvious. You can't just disappear for 3 days as the president. I'm not letting that slip by, son. I'm sorry. Something took place that they did not want you and me to see. And then he just strolls out all gacked up on Adderall, all hopped the fuck up, gives a speedy speech, and we don't see him after that. And again, the cameras are a mile away. Now, they hiding something regarding that. I'm sorry. That's not supposed to happen. And again, we're talking about the ultimate narcissist. Loves the cameras more than anyone. More than anyone. Give me a moment and I'll get to the bullet points here. It's a real professional operation, you know. One of the bigger points, oh, he's talking about the bill. Stephen Nazi-ass Miller, the ghoul, is giving you a point-by-point advertisement for the bill. And he's trying to convince you that he's not the liar. The CBO and everyone else. He even calls him the lefty CBO. Ooh. But I noticed Stephen was being nicer than normal with his insults. And that made me more suspicious. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Did Donnie stroke out or something? I'm thinking, like, what is this? One of the bigger points of confusion on the BBB is spending versus tax cuts. Bullshit, son. The lefty CBO, that's a lie right there. They're not lefty. They just score bills. That's all they fucking do. That's their job. We're at the point in the Reich where they're demonizing the fucking CBO. God, that's pathetic, man. You people will believe anything. They're not lefty. I'm sorry. It's just a lie. One of millions you spout and parrot for them and that you believe because it's on your team. The lefty CBO says extending the 2017 tax cuts preventing their expiration increases the deficit. Of course it fucking does. They were tax cuts for the rich. And what you didn't see is they slipped in the bill, you fucking dumbasses. After his term expires, taxes would go up on the poor. That was in the bill. And everyone told you about it then, and they've been telling you about it for years. These people are scum. They're like, oh, if I get voted out, oh, fuck them. Their taxes go up. Oh my God, what scum these people are. The Antichrist, I'm saying. I've never seen nothing like this. You slip in a bill after your term's up that taxes are going to go up on poor people, but you leave the tax cuts for the rich in place? Because they help you personally. That's Donnie again. It's all about Donnie. Tax cuts for the rich or tax cuts for Donnie. Even according to CBO, the bill cuts spending over 1.6 trillion. Okay, it cuts spending in a certain area, but then you're spending more on top of it in the bill. That's the problem. So when a libertarian Rand attacks the deficit impact of the bill, they are attacking the tax cut. No, Rand says it adds too much to the deficit. He don't give a fuck about nothing else. He don't give a fuck about people losing their health care and dying. He could care fucking less. He plays this role as if he's fiscally conservative. So he's always the voice of reason when the government's spending too much. Right, Rand? I know. I agree with Rand. The government is spending too much with this, and it's a horrible bill and it's disgusting. But not for the same reasons Rand does. I actually have concern for other people losing their health care and all that. Rand could fucking care less. He wants more cuts. He wants it not to add to the deficit. He doesn't care what gets cut, though, unless it affects him personally. Here we go. Of course, honestly accounted, extending current tax rates has zero deficit impact. I'm not even going to read the rest. You get the gist. He's selling the bill. Where the fuck is Donnie for 3 days? That's my question. I don't want to hear from Stephen Miller. I want to see the Antichrist up there doing what, you're paying him to do. Occupy the Oval Office because he ain't serving America. I don't want to see him not there for 3 days. And them not tell us why. And I don't give a fuck what letter you have next to your name, son. If the president disappears for 3 days, I want a fucking explanation. Because that impacts us all very strongly. Anyway, why Stephen Miller putting that memo out? Where the fuck is Donnie? He finally shows himself at 7 p.m. at the summer soiree speech. Cameras a mile away. This is just a comment by Fred Wellman. Amazing to see so many Republican House members acting surprised about what was in the bill they all voted for. They are lying. They hoped we wouldn't notice. Right. It's not polling well. They all voted for it. Margie Green, we're talking about here. Sporkfoot. Then all of a sudden, weeks later, she's, I didn't know that AI thing was in there. No, it's not polling well amongst your conspiracy theorist constituency. That's what she's really saying. I want to try and take my name off it. I want to try and convince the Senate not to send it back to Congress that way so I don't have to vote yes on it again. That's all that happened. So I totally agree with Fred here. That's what I've been thinking about all these Republicans. All of a sudden, after they voted yes on the motherfucker, all of a sudden they talking shit on it. No, you just thought, again, your constituency would not notice what you were voting on. Well, they fucking noticed. Now Margie Sporkfoot's got to do, the back off dance and pretend she's against it. No, she's not against it. She'll vote for whatever the Reich tells her to. She is the Reich on the congressional level. If no one else is, her. Mike Johnson, etc. But she's all in, baby. So they're lying. They all knew exactly what they were voting for. They went along with the Reich because that's what they're supposed to do. They're too scared not to. Then we all noticed. Now, I didn't know that was in there when I voted for it. Well, you're being paid to read the bill, or your staff should, and tell you what's in it. That's literally what your fucking job is. But again, they're just lying because the polling doesn't look good on these specific things. Margie Green is a conspiracy theorist's candidate. That's what she embodies. The white nationalist, racist, Nazi conspiracy theorist type. Far right. She saw a poll where her constituency, the conspiracy theorist Nazis, did not like the AI thing. That states can't touch AI for 10 years. So Leon and Thale and Altman and other evil men across the world could tweak their AI to be as untruthful and evasive and evil as possible. Really serve their interests, not ours. Ever. Was never for us, son. Not even necessary. We don't need AI. Totally unnecessary. It's a toy for the elites, and they want it for their purposes, not yours. And their purposes are to subjugate you, Rube. So again, every Republican that voted for this bill that all of a sudden is playing, I didn't know Babe in the Woods. I didn't know what was in the bill. Well, you're being paid to know what was in the bill, motherfucker. They're all lying. They knew exactly what they voted for. They just hoped you wouldn't notice, just like Fred so eloquently said. A federal judge grants a motion by major news outlets to unseal records in the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case, including a transcript of a previously non-public hearing. Don't worry. I'm sure the Reich will get this overturned because that's what we do in this country now. The Reich just keeps taking it to another court till they get it overturned. And that's the way it goes. So I don't expect to see any records regarding Abrego Garcia, the innocent man that shouldn't even be down there, that they fought tooth and nail to keep down there even after we all found out he was innocent. I don't expect to ever see this. It'll probably just go through the courts over and over again, appeal after appeal after appeal, until it gets overturned, and nothing's going to happen with it. I feel sorry for Abrego Garcia. That sucks for him, and it sucks for everyone in CCOT. Because at least Abrego got transferred, I believe. Who knows where he is now? But a lot of those people, they've just been stuck in CCOT, can't communicate with the outside world, overcrowded cells, and they're never getting out. And you're paying for it. This is Donnie's agenda. And again, this came out early in the day because we're all wondering where the fuck's the president at for 3 days. And everybody just acted like it was normal. No, it was very abnormal. I can't stress enough how abnormal it is. So 9 a.m. in-town pool call time. 2 p.m. Wow, that's a big, from 9 to 2 is kind of open. 2 p.m. the president receives his intelligence briefing, Oval Office, closed press. That means no press, no cameras. That means where the fuck is Donnie? What's he really doing? Because he ain't doing that. 3 p.m. the president signs proclamations. Proclamations. Wow. The White House wrote this, by the way. Oval Office, closed press. Again, we haven't seen them in 2 days. Now they're all this closed press bullshit. 7 p.m. the president participates in a summer soiree, South Lawn, White House press pool. So that's why I posted earlier in one of my posts, are we actually going to see Donnie? When I posted this schedule, this agenda, are we going to see Donnie at 7 p.m. after 3 fucking days? We got to see him. Camera's a mile away, but we got to see him. They hiding something, man. Don't even try and tell me they're not. And it's big. This guy was gone for 3 fucking days. We don't have a picture. Then he just strolls onto the deck for the summer soiree thing. Donnie working hard, really earning those tax dollars. Really earning that grift. My God, you people. Just partying on your dime, just living it up, grifting, flying, taking bribes. Leon too. Ugh. How could you vote for this? How could you fall for it? And it's gonna get so much worse. You can't even fathom it. I can, unfortunately. I wish I couldn't. I wish I was an ignorant rube like you. Because it's horrifying. And for some people that got, shipped to CCOT, a death camp that they'll never leave, they've already experienced the full horror of it. That same horror that Venezuelan person on your dime is now in a death camp for the rest of their life. That same horror could come to your door. A version of it definitely is coming to your door. Will it be to that degree? I don't know. For some people it will be. That's how fucking bad this is going to get. It's already horrible now. This motherfucker just disappeared for 3 days, comes back all gacked up on Adderall like it didn't happen. Again, me and you, that's fine. Not the fucking president of the United States, the ultimate narcissist who wants to be in front of the cameras every second of the day. So 7 p.m., and yes, 7 p.m. we saw him come out on the deck and give his speech with the cameras a mile away. He put this post out at 2:17 a.m., 6/4. I like President Xi of China, really, because he'd been talking shit on China for like, I don't know, 50 years. There's clips in the 80s him talking shit on China. Let alone now when we've gotten the trade wars and all that. And always will, but he's very tough and extremely hard to make a deal with. Well, wait a minute, Art of the Deal, that's him. That's his book. That's his Mein Kampf. Art of the Deal. Very hard to make a deal with. You know why, Donnie? Because he don't need you. You got no chips. You've got nothing. You got no cards, as you like to tell people. China has 5 aces. You have a fucking pair of 2s. You can't win a trade war with China. Again, I explained to you people many times, this society that you live in, the third world, are basically our slaves that the third world pimped out, like China, to serve the first world, that's us, so we can have cheap products. So they ship the manufacturing so they can make maximum profit because of greed. They didn't want to pay American wages. They didn't give a fuck about America. So we have a system based on third world labor that comes from south of the border and works literally here. H-1B visa as well for engineering and those types of positions come from the third world. People are dying to get the fuck out. They'll take a third of the pay. We also have our third world employees or slaves over in China, Vietnam, etc. that make nothing. They work them like slaves. They have no rights, nothing. So all our manufacturing's over there. So guess what? We lose. That's the way our system's built now. We ship all the illegals out. We lose. Why? Because our system has been built on slavery since it started. Now it's just a different form of slavery. We hire people from south of the border that are desperate, refugees, whatever, for 1/3 the price, because we're allowed to take advantage of you. You came from south of the border. You didn't know that? We're allowed to take advantage of the young and give them internships unpaid or pay them low wages. Why? Because they're young. That's what we do in our society. We tell the elderly who's trying to survive on Social Security, go get a part-time job at Walmart as a greeter. Anyone that says that, go fuck yourself and die. Please. Praise Jesus. That's our society. Oh, we can take advantage of the elderly. They're no good to society anymore. We can take advantage of the young. They just got into the workforce. It's okay. It's what we do. We can take advantage of the illegal or the refugee. That's what we do. So since our society is built like that, and since all the American companies shipped everything to China, India, etc., we lose. If we ever try and start a trade war with China, we automatically lose. Donnie doesn't care. That's Donnie's money. Every time you see him brag about how much tariff money's coming in for America or coming into America, replace America with the word me. Always. And then you'll get to the truth. Because you won't see a dime of it, son. And America won't either. Why do you think Donnie is clutching to these tariffs like a vulture? And he was in the first term as well. It's got to benefit him personally, doesn't it? Of course it does. It sure as fuck don't benefit us. We just pay the tax. We pay the added cost. Donnie pockets it. How do I know that? Because it's so important to him. He will fuck anyone over for these tariffs, and I mean fucking anyone. There's only one reason that makes logical sense. That means you personally benefit somehow. Donnie is the Fuhrer. Donnie is Caesar. Donnie has a sycophant in charge of the Treasury called Besson, who would never tell him no. The last guy, what the fuck was his name? I can't remember. The dark-haired guy with the glasses, the nerdy, geeky dude, who's rich as fuck, by the way. That guy, he was Donnie's bitch. If Donnie wants to put his hand in the Treasury, would the last guy or Besson, the current guy, say no ever? Absolutely fucking not. They go out and defend the grift. Or they get fired. So he's now kissing Xi's ass straight up. I like President Xi, and he's a tough guy, and he's extremely hard to make a deal with. Yeah, we know, Donnie, you lose. Just like you lost the first 4 years. Xi didn't budge a fucking centimeter when you tariffed his country. Last time we watched it play out for 4 years. We watched farmers lose their trading partners. Farmers kill themselves. Farmers lose their farms. You voted for it again. We're doing it again. On steroids. Every grift the first term is now on steroids. Antichrist steroids. The worst kind. But this China thing, man, they got no reason to bend over for us. They own us. It's where all of our products come from. If they turn the spigot off, we're fucked. And again, Donnie's the art of the deal, man. What happened? He's not art of the deal guy anymore, Rubes? He's not Mr. Genius businessman anymore? He never was, son. Trump to Fed chair, please bail my dumbass out like my daddy bailed out my failing casinos. Indeed. And Vlad, too, of course. Or the Russians in general. And the reason Ron Filipowski is saying this is because of this headline that came out today. Private sector hiring rose by just 37,000 in May, the lowest in more than 2 years, ADP says. This is from CNBC. Yeah, Donnie didn't like this when he saw it. That scared him a little bit. But again, we knew this would happen. The tariffs, the uncertainty, the grifting going on. It's an unstable market. It's an unstable community to do business in because of Caesar. Grifting. People aren't hiring. Very low number, by the way. You're talking about a country of almost 400 million people. Very low. Not good. Not strong. So Donnie saw that. So let me point the finger at the Fed because I'm grifting here. I don't want people looking my way as I'm grifting. I need to point the finger at someone else. They remind me of certain rock stars' family that he moved in. He married into. Always pointing the finger in other directions. Constantly. Same thing with Donnie every day, all day. While he literally grifts in your face. Just like that family. Same thing. Oh, let me say one more thing. I remember all the trolls and bots and campaign they paid for against me. How they would point to the money I was making, which was, barely enough to survive. Sometimes it wasn't enough to survive. You people don't even know what I went through. You don't know the fucking half of it. So they would target my money and what I was making. Meanwhile, they're buying Birkin bags and they have a foundation taking donations in the hundreds of thousands and holding it for a decade and not filing tax papers. But again, it was a campaign against me. This feels similar. There's a lot of bots that come to all my videos. I know I don't get these views on this view count. I'm not stupid. I've been doing this 10 years, son. And they're pointing at me. When they should be pointing at this. You notice that? I noticed it. I didn't get a $400 million plane, son. I'm not making no money off this. I don't even have commercials. Maybe they should be pointing at this grifter, pointing his finger at the Fed. You think? ADP number out. Too late. That's in quotes. Too late Powell. That's his nickname for Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve. Too late Powell. No, you got a fucking fat ass in orange face grifting, pointing the finger away from his grift. So Rubes say, yeah, it's the Fed chair doing it. It's not our orange messiah grift, and it couldn't be. Too late Powell must now lower the rate. That's in caps. He is unbelievable! Exclamation points. Europe has lowered 9 times. That's in caps! Exclamation point. ADP number out. That's in caps with a bunch of exclamation points. Again, there's only one reason for all this, Rubes. Donnie's grift. That's it. Nothing else. Look at him. Every time some bad numbers come out, he's pointing to the Federal Reserve. They didn't do jack shit. Donnie's the one grifting. So again, maybe we should be watching this, these grifts right in our face. instead of pointing at broadcasters via public relations firms. Because it's going to come to your door too, public relations firm people. I promise you. And I have a way of predicting things. It's kind of eerie too, even to me. I mean, again, I told you Donnie turns on everybody. Look at him and BB right now. Look at him and Leon right now. That doesn't mean Leon's gone. That doesn't mean BB's gone. But just look at them. What I've noticed, I'm not right about everything, but I'm always right about the horrible things. That's what I've noticed. I don't like that. Because I want to be wrong about the horrible things. I really do. Here we go with Donnie again. What a difference a day makes. Because remember the post I read to you yesterday from Donnie. We'll get to it. Because of tariffs, our economy is booming. That's in all caps. You want to see? That was yesterday. Then this came out today. Private sector hiring rose by just 37,000 in May, lowest in more than 2 years. Donnie got scared. Then this came out, the Powell post that I just read to you, him pointing a finger at the Fed. Isn't that amazing? Yesterday, the economy was booming because of tariffs. What did I tell you the rule is with Donnie? When he says the economy is booming, he means his economy, his personal economy, his pocket, his bank account. That's what he means. Whenever he makes a boast like that, every single time. So yesterday, the economy was booming literally because of his tariffs. Today, the economy is not booming. 37,000 hires or jobs created, whatever the numbers for represents. In May, lowest in 2 years. All of a sudden now, the economy's not good, and it's the Federal Reserve who's to blame. Do you people ever get tired of being lied to and grifted? Are you that brainwashed? You must be if your name's on it. I mean, my God, it's fucking endless. And I guess what you people say to yourself is the racism's worth it, or it's on my team. I've always voted Republican. I have to. Again, that mentality, team sport mentality for politics, man. It's cost us everything because you have that attitude, that mentality. Everything, the entire planet I'm talking, will suffer because of this. Unimaginable things. Because politics got reduced to this thing that's not really us. It's some separate thing from us. We go to a booth, we vote for it, we go sit in the church pew on Sunday, we go to work in the cubicle, we're good members of the community. But we put our name on evil back in November. Over and over again, you did this. Until you got to this point where now there's consequences for all. You too. Those of you with your name on it. These endless lies by this orange thing. Your country's already gone because of it. You're going to lose a lot more, and the planet's going to lose a lot more. It will never be the same. I'm talking about our entire world. And no, Rubes, it's not good. It won't be good for anybody. I can even see it eating members of the Reich from the inside. the evil that they're doing, and they know they're doing it. I can see it on their faces at times. You saw it on Rubio's face when he was sitting in the Oval Office on the couch that time. As the couch fucker, JD and Donnie, were berating Zelensky. These people know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. They know they're doing wrong. Very severe and serious wrong. They choose to do it anyway, but I see it eats them up a little bit here and there. Because again, this isn't politics. Politics isn't separate from us either. There's a thing called right and wrong. And it has nothing to do with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. So again, we've somehow convinced ourselves that the politics we believe, or what we believe, isn't really us. That's just something we vote on, and no, it has real life consequences every single time. And this time it cost you your country so far. Some of you it cost your job, other things as well. Things very important to you. And some of you are still on board, looking for the right to save you. It's astounding to watch, but again, it's supernatural as well. It's not just you. There's more to it. Anyway, he's blaming Jerome for his tariff grift. That's literally what you're seeing here. God, I've already gone an hour. Here's Leon again today, trying to look like the good guy. Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. Again, Leon's only pissed because he didn't get his electric vehicle tax credits and other things. He ain't doing it for you, son. Don't worry. This, no surprise. Of course, this is how the story goes. Why wouldn't it go this way? This is a piece of an article I believe the New York Times put out. Jeffrey Epstein invested with Peter Thiel, and his estate is reaping millions. Mr. Epstein, the late financier and sex offender, started by putting $40 million into Valar Ventures, and it disgusts me that scumbag greaseface Nazi Satanist Peter Thiel is using terms from one of my favorite stories and books. You fucking greaseface cunt. Valar are these kind of angelic ruling beings that the god of that story called the Silmarillion, written by Tolkien. They're kind of these pseudo, they're either the high elves or pseudo, godlike beings under the main god, the one god, Iluvatar. It's one of the most masterful pieces of writing I've ever seen. Not the Lord of the Rings, even though that's incredible. The Silmarillion. So that term Valar comes from that. And I can't remember if I believe it's they're kind of pseudo-angelic beings under a god. The good guys. And then there were elves and men and dwarves and different wizards and different things. But that book, the Silmarillion, which includes the Valar, it goes from the creation of the universe or the earth onward. And then you get to the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings and all that. That comes later on. This man wrote an entire history, created an entire world complete with language, everything. It's his life's work. And it's just a shame. It's such a, again, that book is probably one of the greatest pieces of writing ever displayed. The themes in it, the names, the way it's crafted, my God. And again, he starts with creation. I mean, he probably wrote more than is in the Bible. Do you realize that? But what it disgusts me that Peter Thiel is taking these names, Palantir, Valar, from such a noble, wonderful story, such a wonderful writer. My favorite, actually. Disgusting. I wish he'd lay the fuck off those names. His Satanist greaseface ass. Who would he be in the story? He'd be high up there. He'd be one of the evil guys. I don't know. Who would he be? Saruman or something? I don't know. Someone lesser than Saruman. Anyway. Mr. Epstein, the late financier and sex offender, started by putting $40 million into Valar Ventures, a firm backed by Mr. Thiel. Today, that investment is worth $170 million. Of course, there's an Epstein-Thiel connection. Why wouldn't there be? Of course, there's an Epstein-Leon connection. Of course, there's, my God, a catalog worth of connections between Epstein and Donnie, my God. Of course. There's connections between Bill Barr and Epstein and Bill Barr's father and Epstein. I mean, just so many. Donnie hired Acosta, the lawyer that gave Epstein the sweetheart deal in Florida, as labor secretary during his first term. Do you remember that? Was it Alex Acosta? I can't remember his name. So, of course, there's an Epstein-Thiel connection. Of course, what's his name? Thiel's Ventures, funded way back by Epstein, is one of the funders, obviously. Of course, it's reaped huge rewards for the Epstein estate. Isn't that great? Doesn't that make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside? When I saw this, I was just like, of course, how else would it go with these evil fucks? Here's Leon again. No one who actually reads the bill should be able to stomach it. That's today. As if he's some kind of good guy now. This is Representative Moskowitz in a hearing, and he said this. The Newark airport, that's the key example for the American people. You want to talk about how we made government more efficient? We didn't. We made government the Newark airport. By the way, now that the divorce is happening with Leon Scum, who is going to get big balls? I'm worried about him. A congressman said this. I love this guy. He's good. He's good at talking shit. And that's talking shit. And the fact that you people voted for a fat South African oligarch, and you're cool with the big ball stuff and all that, high school kids having all your information, yeah, I guess you almost deserve to lose your country. I mean, if you're going to put your name on sociopathy and evil and Satan, unfortunately, we all have to go down the toilet with you. That's the sad part. But at the very end, that toilet, we won't follow you down that one. Praise Jesus. So yeah, who's going to get big balls in a divorce? Do we keep them? Does Leon get them? Does he go back to the bathhouse with Leon? What happens? Here's Leon again, getting creative with it. Kill Bill. He puts the banner, the picture for the movie Kill Bill, featuring the lovely Uma Thurman in her Bruce Lee outfit, by the way. So Leon Scum, again, he's opposing the Reich's main agenda here, getting these tax cuts for the rich, slashing these social programs for you, the AI protections. There's a lot of other good stuff in there, too, about taking power away from judges and stuff. A lot of great stuff. Really turning your shit into a broke-down Reich where the poor have just infinite less amounts of money than the rich. Such a divide, it's a chasm no one can leap, if you get my drift. Every dystopian, sci-fi, futuristic movie you've ever seen. That's their wet dream. That's Leon's wet dream, Thiel's, Donnie's, where they have everything and everyone else has nothing. Every dystopian sci-fi you've ever seen. And Leon, again, he's literally opposing the Fuhrer's main piece of legislation here. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. And again, always remember, Leon's always looking out for number one. He's only doing this is because he didn't personally get what he wanted in the bill, and he paid about $400 million and a lot more. Lost more of his reputation. Has, you know, the whole world hates him now. Only about 3/4 of the world hated him before. So he's pissed. He didn't get what he paid for. Just like that guy in the Ferrari that went to the Donnie dinner. Remember, I told you about it the other day. When Donnie had his crypto grift dinner, where all the top investors in his meme coin, Mark of the Beast, or currency of the beast, I should say, with the number of the beast on it. Literally. He had his dinner. One of the guys that got in, it was 200 people. He paid $480,000 for the shitty coin. That's worth nothing. Just to get in the room. All he got was, again, Applebee's Surf and Turf and a MAGA hat with the fight, fight, fight logo on it. He never got to tell Donnie, you know, what he wants for his money. And he's driving home in his Lamborghini because he didn't get the chance. He didn't get what he paid for. It's that simple. And he was pissed off. He was trying to bribe a politician, the biggest politician, the President of the United States. Do you hear me, son? And he didn't get what he paid for, what he bribed the president for, and he was mad about it. So he literally made a video on his way home. What was his name? Nick Pinto or something? About how he paid $480,000 to get in. He showed the shitty hat that he got that had the fight, fight, fight meme coin on the front of it. He talked about the food was horrible and that it was, you know, a little tiny surf and turf. And I saw a picture that looked like Applebee's Surf and Turf or something. So he was pissed off. Here's Nick Pinto again, just named Leon. Leon paid hundreds of millions of dollars to buy the presidency, damn it, and to buy whatever contracts he wants, and to buy whatever legislation he wants. He's not getting it. He's not getting his money's worth, just like Nick Pinto and his Lamborghini. Why? Because he's the beast, son. I've been telling you for 10 years. You can't put a leash on him, and he will fuck you over at the drop of a hat. As you're seeing right here. Leon and Donnie, they were roomies at Mar-a-Lago like every night. He slept over. Look at him now. Uma Thurman and shit. Here's Donnie. Congress can give Trump the leverage to coerce Putin. And again, he's posting this. He's the president. He doesn't need leverage. He doesn't need Congress to do anything for him. He makes proclamations every day. He's Caesar. He runs the world, according to him. That's what he said. Now, all of a sudden, he needs Congress to give him leverage to handle Putin. And again, remember, he was the jerk-off in orange face that promised to end the war on day one of his presidency. Before he became president, remember that campaign promise? It would have never happened if I was president. I'm going to end that shit the second I get there. That's what he said every fucking 5 seconds. It ain't over. And now he's saying, I can't do nothing. Congress got to help me here. I thought he was the tough guy. I thought he was the alpha male. No, he's just a grifter. Another excuse to delay and do nothing after threatening new sanctions 5 times in 4 months. When Biden was president, Trump wasn't saying he needed Congress to act. He also didn't say that on the campaign trail. He said he would stop it in 24 hours with one call to Putin. Remember, just a few weeks ago, he said nothing's going to happen till me and Putin get together. Well, they've gotten together several times, according to Donnie. Nothing's happening. Now he's like, I can't do nothing. That phone call, it's not going to lead to peace. I need Congress to do something. Again, do you people ever get tired of being lied to, grifted, pointed in the wrong direction, getting told to spout or getting told to personify the opposite of reality? Does it ever get too much for you? The mental gymnastics for trying to twist your brain into a thing that's okay with evil and preach that evil to others as if it's good. How do you keep going? How do you continue to do it? It's baffling to me. Because that's all you're doing, son, with this. You're taking lies and just worthlessness and preaching it and trying to twist it into good as a platform, as a standard. You preach to all of us. All you're preaching is evil, son. You're calling evil good. That's all you're doing with this. Here's Leon again. The spending bill contains the largest increase in the debt ceiling in U.S. history. It's the debt slavery bill, as if Leon gives a fuck again. If you morons offered him another $1 trillion contract, in quotes, tomorrow, he'd put that shit in his pocket so fast, son. He don't give a fuck about the debt. He cares about the details he wanted in the bill that benefit him. When has Leon been for anyone else but himself? Never. Leon Scum is frustrated over the removal of the $7,500 EV federal subsidy. That's Donnie's money, son. Oh, you know what else Leon's mad about? Altman got the $500 billion contract for AI. Leon wanted that contract too. He wants all the space contracts. He wants all the AI contracts. He wants all the contracts. He's mad about that too. So they took away the $7,500 EV federal subsidy. Hey, that's socialism, isn't it, Leon? The FAA's denial of Starlink's control over airline traffic. Uh-oh. Ooh. And Trump's withdrawal of his ally as NASA administrator. Ooh. I told you the beast throws everyone under the bus. And you know what the beast did not like, Leon? He did not like sharing the spotlight with your bitch ass. He did not like your son running around the Oval Office, tell him to fuck off, go get his shine box, and he's not the president. He didn't like none of that. That's why you where you're at now. That's why Altman got the contract and you didn't. He knows exactly what he's doing with you, son. What he does with everybody else. Fucks them over. So Leon lost the EV subsidy. He lost FAA control over airline traffic. He was going to have that. He lost NASA administrator. Musk wanted to remain beyond 130 days, but was rejected. It was never about the deficit. Indeed, but Musk isn't gone. Don't let this fool you. They made a lot of great points here. Leon is pissed about that. But don't worry, Leon's not going anywhere. But this is all true. This is really why Leon doesn't like the bill. And I hate the bill too, but I hate it for, righteous reasons. Leon just wants it to benefit him personally. It ain't going to be me losing Medicaid. Yet I care about you losing Medicaid. Do you see how that works? I don't have any children. Yet I care about your child getting a free school lunch if you can't afford it. Do you see how that works? Why? Because it's better. It betters society for all of us. It makes us a stronger society, a more intelligent one, a more prepared one, a more tough one. When kids are able to eat and focus on learning instead of fucking, I'm starving and tired and underweight because my parents can't afford food because it's all a scam in this country. Again, I had a 1-bedroom apartment for $575 in 1990 something. Imagine what that apartment was in the 70s. It was probably $100 a month. Now an apartment's $1,800 for a 1-bedroom. And that's the starting price in most major areas that actually have fucking jobs. Starting price, son. 70s rent was $200 a month, $300 a month. Now it's $3,000 a month. Does that sound right to you? Or does that sound like a fucking scam? It sounds like a scam to me. That's because it is. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that. Again, this is the New York Times headline. I want you to show I didn't just pull it off the internet from some random poster, even though they were right when they posted about it. This is the New York Times. Again, Jeff Epstein invested with Peter Thiel and his estate is reaping millions. I already read it to you. You know what's up with that. Of course, that's the story. This is George Conway. They did a study of these Venezuelan people that got sent to CCOT and got their protected status removed before they got sent to CCOT. And George Conway pulled a quote out of that study. Are you ready? Officials knew that only 32 of the deportees had been convicted of U.S. crimes, and that most were nonviolent offenses, such as retail theft or traffic violations. They told you, they told us, not that you care. Only the worst of the worst were going to get sent there. Do you remember that? I know you don't care about it, but do you remember it? I do. And I knew the second they said worst of the worst, they were lying their fucking faces off. And I also said to you people on camera, I said they could label anyone the worst of the worst and send you to a fucking death camp. That's all it takes in this country? That's all it took. We all sat back and watched it. We did nothing. No one did anything. The right just labeled a bunch of people the worst of the worst. They said that on TV. It's the worst of the worst going. And we all just walked away like, oh, the worst of the worst. Okay. No, it was never the worst. It was just anyone they fucking felt like. Which I knew would happen, of course. It's the apocalypse, son. What else would fucking happen? So again, 32 of them had been convicted in the U.S. of crimes, and most were nonviolent offenses such as retail, theft, or traffic violations. If your argument is because they crossed the border or were invited in by Biden as refugees, whatever happened, I don't care. If your argument is they belong in a death camp for the rest of their life in a country they're not from, I'm sorry, you're just of Satan, son. I'm sorry to break it to you. I don't want to debate you on it. Why would I waste my time? You were dead before you were born. Why would I? If you're making that argument, maybe that same standard should be applied to you for what you've done. So I'd be careful making that argument. Anyone that makes that argument in my face or to me, all I see is Satan, son. All I see is horns. Because that's what it is. I don't care what your justifications for it. Or if you want to give a thesis-length speech about the evil you preaching, it's still evil, son. Again, rest of their life, no contact with the outside world, nothing, overcrowded cells, death. That's all that means. How long you think those people will survive that? And I know you don't care, but still. Speaking of preachers, I think Ted Lieu should be a preacher. I'm liking the way he's handling things. He's talking some big shit. I like it. So this is Ted Lieu again. Maybe this is old-fashioned, but the goal of government is not to hasten the deaths of Americans. Indeed, Republicans should reread the Bible. Jesus did exactly the opposite of what they're doing with their big, ugly bill. Indeed, did Jesus say give more money to the rich? Christians, patriots out there? Absolutely not. Did Jesus say take health care away from the poor? Christians out there? Patriots? No, he didn't. The point he's making is what you preach is the opposite of Jesus Christ. Again, I don't want to debate you on it, son. You were dead before you were born. I told you. You don't exist. If you preach in Satan. Ted Lieu is telling you, and many have told you over the decades, you represent the opposite of Jesus Christ. Even though all the people you vote for got the name Jesus on their lips, and you do on Sunday, and you put a little money in the collection plate so your pastor can tell you to vote MAGA, vote the Antichrist, vote evil. That doesn't mean you good, son. Just because your pastor told you to. Ted Lieu's trying to preach that to you, trying to preach the word to you. What did he say? Republicans should reread the Bible. Jesus did exactly the opposite of what they're doing with their big, ugly bill. The opposite, you say, son. Again, this is one of the pictures of Donnie when he finally revealed himself at 7 o'clock. Now, they got closer shots than this, but the cameras were very far away. So again, Donnie disappears for 3 fucking days. That makes me real suspicious. And the right don't say jack fucking shit about it. The president disappears, and then he comes back all spunky and energetic, hopped up on Adderall with the cameras 100 miles away from him as he gives a speech. That's not normal, son. I am very suspicious. I know something big is going on and they're hiding it. This is not normal. And he just walks back to the soiree at 7 p.m. No Reich meeting in the morning with the cabinet, kissing his ass and praising him. No Miss Bondi at the table, looking over at the camera, yelling at the press. No Donnie proclamations in front of cameras. That's not like the Reich. Hardly any Miss Levitt at all. No Skeletor. What's up with that on Monday and Tuesday? That's not normal. And again, then he comes back, hopped up on Adderall, gives a speech a mile away from the cameras. Another picture. And again, they took a shot of him from inside the office he walked out from behind. You still couldn't see a lot, and the camera was not right up in his face as he walked out onto the... I assume that'll be used in some documentary or some thing about the Reich and all its glory in a few years. That I could tell that's what they wanted the shot for. It'll be part of like the propaganda films they show in a couple years after we're all totally subjugated. I'll probably be dead by then. Here's Donnie again. I blew up the picture as big as I could get it. Again, gone for 3 days, just shows up all hopped up on Adderall. Got all the energy in the world. He's smiling. He's happy. Just shows up for a soiree. Can't do none of our business for us, though. You know, as the president, what he's being paid for. He can show up at the soiree dinner, though, after he hides out for 3 days. Truck drivers are out of work, literally stuck sitting, waiting, and in some cases going broke because of Trump's tariffs. Here's one of them. And this is a report that MSNBC did, it looks like. I just saw the clip of it in my feed. Nicole Wallace. And this is a gentleman, he's sitting inside a truck with a truck driver. And that truck driver is outside of a California container shipping area. And he sits there every day because he owns his own truck, I assume. And he waits for a call from the shipping container, receivership. And they'll call him and he'll come pick up his load and take it to where it needs to go. And that's how he makes his living. And that's how he pays for his truck. And, real simple, right? Well, he's starting to sit there all day and not get any calls. that when this reporter did this interview with him, he said he only got one call that day. Said the tariffs are killing us. How many calls does he usually get a day? 15. And of course, the more calls he does, the more money he makes. So he can't sit there all day and only get one call. He don't survive when that happens. Again, that's also one fat, orange-faced cunt can grift. This man has to lose, thousands of dollars. Has to worry about how he's going to pay for his truck. And he's just representative of how many thousands of you out there that drive trucks. Also, one fat orange fuck can grift. That's the only reason it's happening. Always remember that. I hope you as the trucker didn't vote for it. If you did, I don't know what to tell you. That's the repercussions of his grift. It affects people. People lose their fucking livelihood. They starve. They die. Breaking, Trump just issued a sweeping new travel ban. The ban fully restricts people from, here we go again, just like the first term with the travel ban. The Antichrist never changes, does he? Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea. There goes that Equatorial Guinea place again I never heard of. Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen. None of them can enter the U.S. A lot of Haitians here. Sounds like there's not going to be any more. That's quite a list of countries. And it partially restricts nationals of Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Wow, that's even more. What the hell's that going to do? And, there was probably a lot of Haitian people that were planning on coming over. A lot of people from a lot of these countries were probably planning on trying to get over here. Now they can't even fly here. They can't even come in. Damn. Again, proclamations we really didn't see, did we? Because Donnie was missing. Trump orders ban on entry for people from 12 countries. Again, this is the New York Times, so you know I'm not just pulling it from someone's tweet. So tonight in White House news, there's 3 points here. Trump announces full travel ban on people from 12 countries. Partial restriction on 7 countries go into effect Monday. Trump orders investigation into Biden's actions as president, alleging aides mask predecessor's cognitive decline. So Donnie has telegraphed what he's going to do since day one. He's going to rescind all Biden's pardons by continuing to do this. He keeps talking about the auto pen and all that bullshit. So he can arrest Adam Schiff and people like that. That's where the Reich is going, I'm afraid. So that's why this proclamation was put out. Just like he keeps mentioning Greenland, and Greenland got put under a different military, U.S. military kind of command structure will handle Greenland. There's a reason he keeps bringing it up. There's a reason he keeps bringing up this Biden actions thing. He's going to arrest people. He's not going to give a fuck about the pardons. He's setting the table to remove the pardons. He's setting the table to take Greenland militarily, I promise you. So be prepared, Greenland. I'm sorry. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't vote for this bullshit. Trump moves to block entry to U.S. for foreigners intending to study at Harvard. So here we go with the foreigners and Harvard again. He continues his vengeance tour against Harvard. He's using a different presidential power than he was using before that the court struck down. So now the court has to strike this down. It never ends with this cunt that you people have your name on. It disgusts me, the level and amount of evil this person does a day. And what disgusts me even more is that you people are just like him. You must be. Third time's a charm, man. Nothing but evil, nothing but revenge, nothing but grift, nothing but lying. I never seen nothing like it, and I will entertain no arguments for it, because I don't entertain arguments for Satan, son. So don't waste my motherfucking time. Musk privately lobbied Speaker Johnson to save EV tax credits in Trump's big bill. He didn't get his way, and now he's on a tirade against the bill, angering Trump and sending Johnson scrambling to contact Musk. And is that the end? That is the end. Again, Leon's not the good guy. And again, I'm not sweeping under the rug. You people might want to sweep it under. But I ain't gonna sweep it under. This motherfucker was gone for 3 fucking days. And then he just, out of nowhere, 7 p.m. at night, after, I don't know, one phone call with Putin, allegedly, over the course of those 3 days, that's the only business he did for you. Allegedly, it's really for him. He comes strolling across, the lawn and all hopped up on GAC, Adderall, energetic as ever, gives a speech 100 miles away from the cameras, as if nothing happened. And then puts out 3 abject evil proclamations just because he felt like it, because he's evil, because he's the Antichrist. That is not normal, and I am not just sweeping him disappearing for 3 days under the rug. No. They hiding something big, and they ain't telling us jack shit about it. And I knew it was verified for me when Donnie said in his little speech tonight, I was so busy the past days with the Russia thing, the Iran thing, blah, blah. No, you weren't, son. You're hiding something, and you just verified it for me. Thank you. But it didn't really need verification. I know this entity, and this entity loves cameras more than anyone. He loves attention, the spotlight, adoration more than anyone. So there's no way in fuck he's disappearing for 3 days from the cameras unless he doesn't want you to see him for some reason. Something's wrong. So something was wrong, and they're hiding it, and they didn't tell us jack shit about it. And again, he just strolls back on Adderall and gives a speech 100 miles from the camera. I don't know if we have any pictures from him at the actual party. If there's no pictures at all tomorrow, that's going to make me real suspicious again. So they hiding something huge. President disappears for 3 days and then comes back gacked up on Adderall, gives a little speech, again, 100 miles from the camera. Not normal. I'm very suspicious. I know something's up. And we'll probably never find out about it. And as always, you need to take your name off this. It does nothing for me. It's only for you. Only you can save you, son. I ain't gonna save you. Jesus ain't gonna save you. You gotta save you. So you got to get your name off of this bullshit, off of this Antichrist person, and walk the other way. For your own sake. Because only you can save you. The Jesus part comes later. You got to make the choice, son. You got to make the choice. So take your name off it. And again, when Donnie comes to give you that gift and wants you to use that special money, that funny money, you have to say no. Because if you take that gift, if you become part of his system, it's over for you. You're irredeemable. There's no way. You can't change your mind. That's the thing about this time. Everyone's got to make a choice, a very difficult one, and you can't change your mind after you make it. So do the right thing for yourself and save yourself, and then you can talk about Jesus, save me, forgive my sins, all that. You got to make the choice to go that route. You have to save yourself. That's what I'm telling you to do. That's what I'm suggesting. And I suggest you take that advice. It's the best advice you ever got in your motherfucking life. I promise. It's worth more than all the gold in the world that Donnie and Thale and Leon covet. I promise. Although you may suffer in the short term, in the end it will be worth it. I promise. So just say no to the mark and the crypto and the beast, and take your name off that shit and beg the Lord for forgiveness, and then walk the other way. And you good. Gotta be sincere though, can't be fake. You can't trick God. He's a little bit smarter than us. So it can't be some fake ass bullshit. It's gotta be a sincere conversion. I know a woman that didn't take a pardon from Donnie Shitbags, a J6 person. She said, I didn't take the pardon because I wouldn't be able to live with myself because I don't deserve the pardon. I was guilty. I did wrong that day. I'm like, holy shit. That's a sincere conversion, son. Not some fake bullshit. Anyway, until the next episode, have a wonderful evening.